Okay, I'm back. What we're going to do is we're going to go over what it looks like when it's sent to them and what it looks like when it's sent to you. So, sorry, I get a lot of emails. So let me go through my email and let's see here. So here's what it looks like. Looks like Ann had somebody had clicked on it, but the so East Burnett. Here is my review. Okay, it's going to come to them. So here is so it's two different ones. So attention John Doe. So this is what it'll look like if they get it. So I want to be able to walk them through there. So this is what it looks like when you get it. It's got my name. So I'm going to do this one first. I click on the signature. Always ask if you're not a robot. The And then once you get that on, it's going to go in here. You can do this on your phone. Tell them it's more difficult on your phone, easier on an iPad or something bigger, just for these first couple ones so they can read it. I like to have this up while they get it, so that way I can walk them through the contract. And so I'm going to tell you kind of how I walk them through the contract. I tell them that, hey, I just want to make sure if you have any questions on this, just let me know. But I'm going to run through the contract real quick. This is my name, where I'm representing you. This is the legal addresses. This is everything that's included, anything that's attached, or anything like that. This is the refrigerators and everything like that. And if I'm talking to them over the phone, I literally point them to this number. I say, I either go to this number or this one. I first say, I like to do this. I like section 1. If you see it, just goes over the legal address, what's attached. Line number 31 just says we're asking for all the refrigerators, and I know you wanted the washer and dryer, John Doe. So this 32, if you look at 32, that's where I wrote that in there. I know you wanted the swing set gone, so line 34, that's gone. And then I go, well, if you go into section 2, so I go section, these are lines. So section 2, we're offering 165. You're putting $1,000. I would need to make sure you know that that's being deposited. Once we give that to them, you can get that back if something goes wrong with the inspection or the financing, but that's where it's there. This is stating what your financing person told me, so just make sure all these lines are correct. This is your lender that you're going with. And make sure you read through all this. If you have any questions, I tell the people that. I'm telling John Doe, make sure you read through all this. If you got any questions, let me know. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't read anything, just like some of you guys have never read the contract. So this shows. Remember, we're always letting the other person hold this. So this tells them where to write the escrow check. This says that this is contingent upon Section 5, contingent upon an appraisal. It has to appraise above or at the purchase price, or we have the right to renegotiate the contract. Proration, this says that they're going to prorate taxes. Limited home warranty, that they agree to provide any warranties like roofs, windows, anything like that to us. And this is where we're asking them to pay for our home warranty, and we get to select which one that is. The seller's disclosure, which is line number 8, which spills over on the next one, just says you acknowledge receipt of this. It is in this document, and I will also email you another one. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. It's good to bring also your questions to your home inspector, so that way you can ask him any questions about that. Lead-based paint, again, you said you didn't really care about this. Just make sure you understand lead-based paint. I always tell people don't eat it. If you're scraping it, make sure you take certain in there. But any house that's built prior to 1978, there's lead-based paint in there. But if you feel uncomfortable in it at all, let me know, and then we can do this risk assessment. But I always tell people I've never had anybody do that. Inspections, which is number 10. I'll kind of go over that on the next side, but read through this whole paragraph. Verification of square footage, we have 15 days just to verify that the square footage, they're within 10% of what they stated on the MLS. This inspection contingency, I'm talking to John Doe again. I'm saying, hey, section 2 of the inspection, line 172, that gives us 14 days to do a full home inspection. Anything you want to do. We have the right to negotiate repairs Accept it as is, it's okay, or void the contract if we find something, big structural manufacturer, a big defect we're not comfortable with. This is not to go after cosmetic things. And so this is really kind of gives us a whole thing to look at this, look at the property. The survey, which is 10 days. If you're uncomfortable with the lines of the property right now at all, or you're ever going to build a fence, we need to order a survey the first day of the contract to make sure that there's no problems with that. And then this just says that we're not closing until 30 to 40 days after the release. So after we sell your other house, John Doe, on Altigate, then all of these dates are going to kick in. You get the keys simultaneously with closing. We get to do a walkthrough of the property, make sure it's insane there. Lease, make sure there's no valid leases on the properties. This just says that title has to be conveyed free and clear of all liens. And then this section is owner's title insurance policy. Your lender and the closing attorney will go through there. I do recommend you get that. In Jefferson County, there has to be a smoke detector. I tell them, Section 19. This is if it's a condo. Section 20 doesn't pertain to us here. Risk of loss, I just basically tell people, hey, make sure you have homeowner's insurance in the day of closing. So there's no overlap or anything like that. Fair housing, I went over fair housing. Consumer guide, I'm representing you guys. Commissions are all paid by the sellers. 24 is notices. Every notices should be on writing. And then this is the last thing. This is mediation arbitration. This whole section right there. The way I kind of tell people this is, if a buyer and a seller ever get in a fight, they agree to go to mediation, arbitration, try to, before they start just suing each other. I tell people, knock on wood, we've only had one in 18 years go to mediation, and so don't be number two, but this is just there. But we try to make sure we make sure this contract is best for your behalf and make sure to keep you out of trouble. I'm representing there, and this is where I wrote in that John Doe, where they're going to pay $3,000 for your closing costs. And we made it contingent on the sale of your property at Altigate, and they're going to give us an answer by 10 p.m. They have to deliver it to us by 10 p.m., not just say, okay, we're going to get it signed at 10 p.m. and then they don't send it. They're supposed to deliver it to you, email it to you. Again, agents, make sure that you call the other agents and get some ideas on when that time frame should be and when they're closing, and talk to them, and make sure also you call them and make sure they received your offer once you email it back to them. So this is, I'm representing you as a buyer on this transaction in Family Realty. I just tell them that's the agency, and then I say this is the 3-page agency that says I'm just representing you right now, and I agree not to disclose any facts. If you have any questions about agency, let me know. And then the next thing is the contingency. This says we're going to have our house on the market within 10 days, and we're going to have until this day to sell it. But if they get another offer, they're going to notify us. As soon as they notify us, we have to tell them within 24 hours whether we're going to go through with the contract or not. And we have to provide them in writing from the lender showing that we have the funds necessary to go through. All the dates on the contract, that contract up above, are from the release of the contingency. That means once we've sold our home. Okay, that means once it's under contract. This is fair housing. Most people know what that. This is our disclosure. It just in details just shows a little bit more about closing costs and agency, that you agree to everything. I tell people that this is, it will, on their side, it'll show these initials on there, but this is my side. So, but I go over lead-based paint again, just making sure they don't want to do any lead-based paint. If they do, you got to redo it. Any type of lead-based paint. More inspections. Then I tell them this is the seller's disclosure to read over it, and if they have any questions, let us know. We can get that to the sellers or ask the home inspector. So what I tell them is, after I walk them through the contract, it's real important that they go up here. Now I'm going to do mine real quick. So we hit start signing. It takes me to every spot. All I do is click on the spot. Again, I do that because it's kind of difficult for some people. I click through everything, and then when I hit complete signing, tell people. So we're going to go through in there. So I will call them, say, hey, you got that, okay? I'm on the phone with them, and I can do it without looking at it now because I've done so many. But I'll just say, hey, John Doe, when you click on it, click on the signature, the little pencil. It's going to say I am not a robot. When it comes in here, it's first going to ask John Doe and say, hey, John Doe, it's going to ask you Let it load here for a second. We got a lot of pages on this one. It's going to ask you, do you want to change this? Tell them, don't worry about changing this. We're going to get their actual signature at closing. So I tell them just to accept this. So I tell them, hey, you got that coming up. So, but it's real important you look at it because you're going to be talking to them. They're going to be at their home. You're going to be there saying, hey, then it's going to bring up on your screen. It's going to ask you, do you want to adopt a new signature? Tell them just to hit acceptance and just take it to there. Tell them if they want to read through the contract, don't hit start first, to scroll down on the right hand side and they can read through the whole contract. Once they hit start, tell them to hit the start button in the right hand corner. I'm going to say, hey John, you see in the right hand corner, hit the start button. Some people say just summarize it for me, and you can summarize it, but I normally go through the whole contract like that with people like I just did. But they hit start. Tell them don't hit these buttons after they hit start. Say hit start and then just click everywhere where your initials, where it takes you. There's a red arrow on the left. Just click on it and it will automatically take them to the next thing. And say just keep clicking and just keep your cursor on the screen and look for the box and just keep clicking the box. Tell them after you're done, you're going to email them a PDF version of this contract. And they just literally stay on this screen. They never hit next, okay? They just keep clicking because as soon as they hit next, they will get out of line and then they'll have to start all over. So they just explain to them how oh, I accidentally put an initial off to the left there. I don't know why I did that, but we'll just click. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I don't know how that initial got there, but it's not. That's why, like, if you do overlapping or whatever, it won't let you click on it. Shit. Sorry. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. So I'm just going to go to the next one, and I'll go back to that one. So this is a good thing because a lot of times they will have hit next and they screw up and it'll take them all the way back to there. So I've got to, there we go. It let me click on it. So once it's done, you just say, hey, it don't take you any more site. Just hit the complete and hit complete signing and hit no thanks. Tell them do not worry about doing a login. Tell them you're going to email them a copy of this. Hit no thanks. They're done. Once they are done, this will come to your email. It comes to your email. You get this little notification that, sorry, this is another contract that one of us is doing. But it shows here where I've already done it. You'll get this confirmation, and then you're going to get another one. Let's see where the other one. Here it is. Your John Doe. You're going to get this one. Once you receive this, if you just wait for another minute, you can keep hitting refresh. See if it's come to me yet. Oh, there it went. I just saw it come up from. So it'll give you this final version. It'll hit click here to save or click here to print. Now let me show you something. When you click on this, it's easier to do from a laptop. If you have to, you can just forward this whole thing to the agent. And most agents, I just say click the link below. But a lot of times I don't want them to see all of this stuff. So I will click that and download it. When I download it, I open it up. And the main thing that they get out of this is this page and the agents, I mean not the agency, but the seller's disclosure and the lead-based paint. So I know the seller's disclosure and lead-based paint are, and I'm showing you what I'm looking at, pages 17 through 21, okay? And the contract, because I know the contract's 7 pages, is 1 through 7. And I know that the contingency is 13. So I can hit here, watch this, print, change, save to PDF, and you don't have to do all this. You can just forward that all to them if you want. A lot of times they don't need to see all that other agency and that. The other agent doesn't need to know that. So I hit 1 through 7, okay, and then I hit, because I know that number 13, and if you want to check to make sure 13 is right, it then pops up here and it'll take it to section 13, okay? And then I think it was like 18 through 21. 18 through 21. Okay, so if you see here, I'm 1 through 7 there. I'm saving it as a PDF. If I scroll all the way down, okay, 18 through 31. Okay. So the problem is I don't have the lead-based paint disclosure, so it was actually the one before that, which is 17. So there's 17. So you can see here I'm only sending the agent the contract, and I'm sending them this, and I'm sending them this. So, and I hit save. So it's going to save, and I say East Burnett residential contract desktop. Save it to my desktop. So now that's saved. Now you can also go in here when you've got that PDF down there. You can hit this one. You can save the whole thing as a PDF as here, and you can email your client this thing here. When it comes up here, just hit this, and then just save it and say, you know, whatever client. So you know that one. So I'm going to hit client there and hit save. So now I'm going to email it to the other agent. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to hit compose, and I'm going to put in the other agent. The other agent is me. I'll put Christopher right now so he can print this off. And I'll put offer, and I normally put the address, whatever the address is and stuff like that, and I will say in here, so I call them, text them, until I get a response that they got this. I don't take for granted they got it. I'll put, please let me know if you have any questions, and you got this. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and I hit attach, and I'm going to send them the version of the contract that I did that's just the contract stuff. So I go ahead and send that to them, call them, make sure they got them, then you're done. You submitted a contract. Congratulations. So just waiting for them to sign the acceptance. And then let's say I want to send the other one just to there, and I just put in like our client John Doe. So I'm just going to send this one to Christopher, and I'm going to put your copy PDF. That way they can't say they ever didn't get a copy, because they get an actual response back where they can download it and that, but I like to give them it. So there it is. Okay. And so I sent that. And come on. And it's done. So we've sent it the contract, we've submitted, we wrote a contract, we're done. I do like to talk to the agent. I say, hey, if there's any sticking points, let me know. Anything I can help with. Just talk to the agent. Try to be upfront and friendly. Get as much information as you can so you save yourself time. Don't put a response time they can't do and that. So you guys are all doing a great job. So hopefully this helps. Thanks. Bye.